Like, I truly believe in my heart that if President Trump were to lose this upcoming election, I feel like the idea of free thinking, the idea that we can question, the idea that we can say whatever we want because that's our God-given American right to have free speech, I feel like that will be gone.
Let's go!
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. Welcome to the Matt Kim Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Kim, joined by my co-host, Mr. Peter Saddington.
What's up, guys? Welcome.
As you guys can see, we have a brand new setup today. It is not something that we've intentionally done, but sometimes while you experiment, while you try new projects, while you try new things, we end up with, what do you guys think?
Well, Matt Kim likes to shake the snow globe and see how things fall out.
Well, let me tell you how when you shake the snow globe, what happens? The snow all falls to the bottom.
And one thing that you guys don't know is that Matt and I and Will are all living on secondhand smoke highs right now because this entire room smells like cigar smoke. Thanks, Dilly. Appreciate you.
So we did a live stream last night to cover the Super Tuesday and the Super Tuesday primary results. And in it, we decided, Brendan Dilly came in and we decided we're going to do a stream. We were on Rumble X YouTube.
Yeah.
And we decided, smart, cute idea, that we're going to smoke cigars.
Yes, we need a humidor in here. We need some sort of mechanism to get rid of all of the secondhand smoke because I feel like I'm about to get cancer.
And there is a linger. It smells like a 1980s diner in here.
Yep, a sweaty diner. A sweaty diner, guys.
But it's okay. I don't mind it. You guys have been complaining. They've been complaining about it all morning.
Yes, we have, Will, haven't we?
Yeah, I don't smoke normally, so.
I'm not a cigar smoker either. It gives me migraines.
We also had something happen over the last couple of days is that our other third camera HDMI spot just crapped out on us. So we only have two angles now. We need to replace this.
And we've already done the math to ensure that the Matt Kim podcast continues to move forward unfettered. That camera will require about 625 hoodies that you should buy. Link below. Check out the link below, guys, for the hoodies. The Matt Kim Free Thinker podcast, Free Thinker Army hoodies are on sale. Check them out. We got to get this guy paid.
Yeah, definitely go pick up some merch. We have been crushing it with the merch. People are loving the merch. We're going to get new designs for the merch coming soon. So if you want to support the podcast, definitely go pick up some merch. That's literally the only way right now that people can support us. So,
and it's a very humble way to continue to keep this thing going.
And I would love to one day upgrade all of our cameras. We talked about what that would cost.
Yeah.
We're not there yet, but eventually we will. The cameras we're using are probably 6 or 7 years old. And if you guys, I get a lot of requests for this. Matt, I want to start a podcast. What do I need? And the reality is, we're using cameras that were made 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're fine. If you guys are shocked and go, oh, I can't believe they're using cameras that are this old.
Yeah, cameras from 6-7 years ago doesn't necessarily mean that the video is going to be shot from a potato, guys.
Yeah, you guys can make do with a minimal budget. And we talked about briefly before, but I've gotten so many requests for this. Matt, I decided I want to start a podcast. What do I need? And I respond, what's your budget? What do you want to do? And I think I do need to start a guide. Because I can't give the same response to so many people.
I think it would be easier for you to just send them a link and say, hey, this is the Matt Kim podcast starter guide. Here's what you need. Here's all the bullet points. Here's the options and these types of things. Because in reality, the last year has been an experiment of learning how to do this well. Many different iterations, many different experiments.
Yeah, I mean, I wish someone had made a guide prior to me starting because then I probably would have shaved 3 months of my life off. And so much headache and countless hours going down the YouTube rabbit hole trying to figure out. Because it's either guys that don't have successful podcasts trying to sell you programs on how to do it when themselves haven't done it. Or the bigger guys who are so big that their budgets are not proportionate to what I want to spend.
Yeah.
So their advice doesn't really relate to me.
Well, it's hard when you have a technological, number one, barrier to entry in terms of the cost constraint, but number two, the learning curve.
Yes.
And so the last thing you want to do is spend $2,500 on a camera that you can't use. And so all of the exercises, all of the experiments, all the reps that you've put in building the Matt Kim podcast has availed you a very powerful education.
So quick cliff notes, work on your lighting, work on your sound, and worst case scenario, use your iPhone.
Yeah, actually, frankly, if you're super on a string budget, iPhone will work just fine.
Yeah.
Make sure the sound sounds good.
Yeah, sound is good, and make sure your lighting is on point, and your camera can cover for a lot of it if you can figure out your lighting.
Speaking of sound, lighting, and as well as audio and video quality, your GOP primary yesterday was literally shot from a potato. But in all of my research and all of my findings and happenings of what happened yesterday, you were number one.
That's crazy.
GOP. That's right. Number one, Matt Kim podcast, GOP primary news source, guys.
Yes.
Don't look at CNN. Don't look at MSNBC. Don't look at Fox. Don't even look at Newsmax, because Newsmax was only doing 16,000 viewers. We got Matt Kim over here doing over 30,000 concurrent viewers on X alone in sum total, adding up YouTube and Rumble, etc. We're talking about 50,000 people.
Crazy.
Watching Matt Kim podcast.
Crazy.
I was blown away. I was so excited. I told you before the podcast started. I ran up from my garage to my wife and I was like, "He's crushing it. He's got over 50,000 people watching him." My wife's just like, "Okay, cool."
It was wild. It was such a wild ride last night, and it just kept on growing. And people were so excited, and people got so excited at the fact that we were chasing down at first Newsmax, and then we started saying, well, you got to get the news from the Super Newsmax Pro news decision desk, and people start retweeting that, and it just went nuts and like wildfire. And it was this crazy movement because watching President Trump crush through the primaries, just cock slapping everyone in his way. Right?
He was going,
wow, cock smacking everybody.
that big schlong of his.
And it's just so many people that are feeling like the underdog in this country right now. And to see us and see what we're doing online and seeing us kind of catch the bigger channels, the bigger pages, the mainstream media pages, it became this crazy online movement last night.
Oh, totally.
Where people are like, I don't even care about what they're saying anymore. We just want to see this happen.
Exactly.
And we were chasing after Newsmax, and then we were chasing after Rudy Giuliani, and they were chasing after everyone. And we ended at over 30,000 on one
Just
platform.
X. Yeah.
And the whole chat, we don't even know where the numbers are. All night long, chat's like, you just have 50K, 20K, 20K. And everyone was going nuts. It was a huge party. I mean, the energy, that's crazy how you can feel the energy of the audience through the monitor back to you.
Absolutely. And I think if I'm not going to get my timestamp right, but about, I think the 1.5, 2 hour mark, you said something that was so poignant, and I have to repeat it here because you were talking about Trump and his message, and essentially you were saying that Trump is the message for those who can't speak, those that are seeking, those that want to be represented. And in the past, let's just say 8 years or so, or even longer, 12 years, there has been a huge constituency of people in America that feel like they don't have a voice, and Donald Trump is that voice. And I think you picking up all these people, these thousands of people yesterday, are those people who are looking to hear Donald Trump's voice, being a representative of them and the things that they care about in this election cycle. I loved it.
From all over the country, all over the world.
All over the world.
Last night.
All over the world.
And we were doing this through the stream, and I'm going to ask people to do it right now. From wherever you are, drop a comment. Let people know where in the country you are right now.
Yeah, and
because when people scroll through the comments, they're able to see, okay, hey, I'm from California. I feel like I'm the only conservative. I feel like no one can relate to me. And when you find out that someone in your own neighborhood is also watching this podcast with you, it feels like you're not alone. And I just want people to know that this is a movement of people growing. It's really a movement of the people.
Absolutely. So I think that's a great comment for those of you guys who are watching this online on YouTube or Rumble. Leave a comment below. Let us know.
Or Spotify or
X. Let us know. If you're on X, retweet the live stream. But if you're leaving a comment, let us know where you're coming from, because I think that would be a great Matt Kim Freethinker Army thing. That whenever they comment, they say, hey, I'm Joe from Alberta, Canada, or I'm Susie from Tokyo. That would be really cool.
Because the idea is that the people who are open-minded, free-thinking, that question the narratives, that we've been the silent majority. We were told that we're the silent majority, and there's not that many of us. And they don't want you to know that we are literally everywhere. But if you start putting out there, we're not scared of you. We don't care if you come after us. You can't cancel all of us. And I'm going to let you know exactly where I'm at.
Yeah.
And there's something about standing up so blatantly, so brashly to the system that I feel like that's going to be a really powerful thing.
So my wife asked me last night, she's like, is Matt going to be doing more political commentary as these events happen? And I looked at her and I was like, I'm not actually sure. He seems to be just accepting the opportunities as they emerge,
Yes.
which is very much the Matt Kim way of doing things. Is opportunity strikes. Ain't nobody got time to think about this. Let's just go to Ohio. Let's just go to, Romania. Let's just go, this is kind of the Matt Kim thing. So I have to ask on live because I'm sure other people are curious about this. As we ramp up into this election season, which, let's be honest, I think is going to be the craziest election season we will ever witness. So, Matt, are you going to be on the ground giving color commentary to what's going on as it emerges live?
Well, funny you ask, because I will be attending the Rome, Georgia Trump rally this Saturday.
Oh.
So Trump is going to be in Rome, Georgia, and I'm going to be hanging out over there. I'm actually taking my family with me.
Okay.
And we're going to go do that. And we'll probably do some coverage from the rally itself.
All right.
And my plan was never to be a political commentator. It was never the goal.
If I were to think about that deeply, I would have to hearken back to all the conversations we have, and I'd say absolutely 100% that has never come out of your mouth as a primary value that you care about. Yeah.
But we are in such a weird place in this country, such a weird place in society, that the preseason is officially over.
Do you think all of these seekers, all of the truth seekers, all of the free thinkers out there that you are bringing to yourself in a lot of ways, because you're the one going out and being the voice, going on ground. See, I mean, obviously there's a lot of other political commentators and social commentators that do this stuff, but you have a unique stance and you have a unique perspective, and you bring people to yourself that frankly don't go to other people. That's fine. Not everyone's going to be, likable. Some people are oil and water. And so I'm curious, do you feel like there is a new additional growing pressure from your fan base, from your subscribers and your followers to be the voice on the street, seeing what's going on and ensuring that a fair, I'm going to use the word balanced, but fair and balanced perspective is given to the world? Do you feel an additional new kind of accountability or responsibility because you're bringing so many people to yourself and they're wondering and curious about what you have to say?
I don't feel like I am actively trying to find information and relay it to people. I don't feel like I'm trying to do that at all, actually. I feel like my goal is to show people that if I can do this, and if I can question the narrative, and if I can go out there and say things that we're told we're not allowed to say, if I can say it, then hopefully it'll encourage others to do it also. Because I truly believe in my heart that if President Trump were to lose this upcoming election, I feel like the idea of free thinking, the idea that we can question, the idea that we can say whatever we want because that's our God-given American right to have free speech, I feel like that will be gone.
So wait.
It's to protect our way of life. It's not even politics. I feel like this is our only choice.
Well, I don't know. I feel it's I don't lose my words very often, but what you just said, Matt, sounds like fighting words.
Yeah.
It sounds like, if I can recontextualize what you said, is that if Trump doesn't get elected this year, that it's almost like free speech and freedom is on the chopping block.
It's over.
Are you serious?
I believe, and me and Dilly, when Brendan Dilly is here, we say it all the time. If Trump loses, we're screwed.
What does that mean?
Meaning they're going to come after us. They're probably going to, who knows, find something. An average person breaks, 20, 25 federal laws every single day. It's not about catching criminals. It's subjective on who they decide they're going to go after. There's a very high chance they come after me.
Interesting.
They're definitely go after Dilly.
Well, if we follow the logic, President Trump has been treated, this guy has been around for 6 decades, 7 decades, all right? And he has never had so many legal battles up till now, right? He's been in business. Like if he was a bad actor in business, you would think that he would have hundreds of lawsuits, behind him in his wake of fury that as he walks and lives this earth. But yet he's been treated so unfairly, and the whole Mar-a-Lago raid, I think Tucker said it best. I think the Mar-a-Lago raid really opened people's eyes that, holy crap, if they can go after a billionaire, Trump, then they can go after anyone. So is that what you're saying, is that if Trump doesn't win this election, then the open, fair game on all content, social commentators, political commentators, influencers, if you're conservative, is it's open season on all of us, is what you're saying?
Currently, Trump is considered the opposition, right? The opposition to the establishment as we know it is President Donald Trump. And right now, they can't go so extreme. They can't just delete people offline. They can't be as extreme as they would like because in comparison, then it may actually shift the people to the other side.
Right.
As a rebellion to the current
So it would
cause.
be too early to start censoring and deleting people off the internet.
Correct.
They have to chop off the
They need to remove the opposition first.
I see.
And once you chop off the head of the snake, the rest of the body is fair game.
Really?
That's what I think.
I'm really intrigued about this model because I just never thought that Trump could be the last standing guard of free speech in many people's minds, and I think you're kind of emulating that here.
Yeah, I mean, if they take him, right, and if for some reason, all numbers currently say that he would win. If the election were today, he's supposed to win. Not saying he would win because elections are funny like that, but he should win if the election were today.
If you were to put a gun to my head and say, Peter, election today, who's going to win? I'd say absolutely Donald J. Trump.
Yes.
100%.
And right now we have a binary choice. It is the game has been laid. It's Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. These are the only two people left standing now with Tricky Nikki running out today.
She's just burning everybody's money.
Yeah, she's gone. She announced today that she's dropping out, and she also didn't endorse Trump, which was really weird of her to do. Because if she cared at all, she would have at least done that. But can't get off her fucking high horse.
She got war money in her, so she can't be saying anything against that war complex.
And Thursday, so today this episode will go up on Thursday morning. So Thursday night tonight, I believe we're gonna do the State of the Union stream.
Oh, that's right.
We have to stream the State of the Union because why not? I watch State of the Union every year. By the way, I watch it every year since I think 20 years.
But it's delayed. It's been delayed like 2 months, right?
I think so. I don't remember.
I think this is the only time it's been delayed this long.
But
I wonder what he has up his sleeve.
Thursday, 9 p.m. State of the Union address, President Joe Biden. And quick reminder for people, the first State of the Union address, Joe Biden promised that he was going to cure cancer. I just want to put it out there.
Oh, that's right.
He did.
That's
he said
right.
he was going to cure cancer.
Yes.
And the second year that he did the State of the Union address, he doubled down. And he said he was going to cure cancer.
Oh, so I guess they're finally going to unclassify the vibration and sound waves that have been proven to cure cancer.
And third year, and all those years, he also said that he was going to cure COVID.
Oh, well, he did cure COVID because, remember, COVID's actually just the flu.
Do we talk about it now or do we get back to that?
Well, I kind of want to sit on this.
Let's go back to that. We're going to go back to COVID as a flu.
No, I don't want to sit on COVID. I want to go back to all the content creators and all the influencers and all the political commentators that watch your show and are kind of left holding their nuts and their dick in their hand saying, wait, Matt just said if Donald Trump doesn't get elected, then we're up shit's creek. What are we supposed to do? My next question I wanted to ask is, do you have any ideas? Or you have any plans? Because we're running out of time. It's March. We got 7 months until Donald Trump doesn't get elected, and then all of us are up shit's creek and our careers are over. So what are we supposed to do? If you're a conservative commentator, if you're a conservative political commentator, social commentator, and Trump doesn't win, your game is over, is what you're saying. I feel like a lot of people are holding their dicks going, well, what am I supposed to do?
So the answer is obvious. Too big to rig. That's exactly what President Trump has said. It has to be too big to rig, meaning there has to be so many people that show up to vote. The analogy I've been giving is
we've talked about this previously.
If you're going to run a covert operation, you can run a covert operation with 20, 30 people. Yeah. If you want to flip 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 votes, 20 people, you could get it done, and no one's going to be all the wiser. And 20 people, you can make sure they shut up.
And they've proven that you only have to go to these certain counties in these states.
If you need to figure out how to flip 1 million or 2 million or 3 million votes, you would need to get a operation, and your operation is no longer covert. You would need 1,000 people, 5,000 people. How many people does it take to flip that many votes? How many potential leaks are there in the system once your group and organization grows? When you have a small group, people can shut up, people keep secrets. The larger it is, you're going to have people infiltrate it, you're going to have people leak, you're going to have people keep recordings. It's going to blow up.
Caught on camera, like all of the previous fake ballots were caught on camera and are being revealed every single week.
If it is 2 polling or 3 or 5 polling locations, people are like, look, there are thousands of polling locations. This is an exception.
So what you're saying is that everyone must go out and vote this year, because you and I have talked about this multiple times on Matt Kim podcasts previously. Go check them out. Is that every single election, if I'm going to quote Matt Kim, every single election, quoting Matt Kim says, it's all rigged, so we must all go out and be bigger than the rigging.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
You have
so you're
to be
telling
bigger. The vote difference must be bigger than any potential fraud.
So you're telling me, Peter, you must vote this year.
You have to vote. I will be extremely upset at you if you don't vote. I swear.
He's going to kick me off the podcast, guy.
Yeah. I'm going to check your voter ID when you walk in, and I'm going to check your public records.
Are you going to check my social credit score?
Well, no, but I can go to the public records and I can find, okay, Peter Saddington, date, birth, etc., county, and then I can find out if you voted. I can't find out who you voted for, but I can see which election you voted.
I'm just gonna vote so I can knock out Karen's vote.
You gotta vote because the number is 100 million. 100 million votes for Trump wins the whole thing. 100 million votes for Trump will get him not only the electoral vote, but also the popular.
I just can't wait for the vote graph to go like this again, Matt. Boop.
And do you know what else? Do you know what else 100 million votes does? It tells the mainstream media that's gonna, if Trump were to win, but he were to win by a hair, all for the next 4 years, mainstream media is gonna be like, it was rigged. It was rigged.
You're right.
Something's wrong.
You're right.
Blah blah.
You're
They
right.
hate Trump. He lost the popular.
Yeah. It gives them too much margin to take that margin and turn it into 4 years of absolute suffering.
100 million votes would be a big FU.
It's got to be a blowout.
All the establishment, and if anything, if they came out and they're like, well, it was only 100 million, they're gonna sound so stupid, so ridiculous. And if you want to save your sanity, and if you want to get some sort of resemblance of free media back in this country, 100 million votes will shut them up.
I would love to watch The View the day after Election Day if that happens.
Well, you're still going to have someone like Whoopi who's going to say, Biden has all the power to arrest every single Republican. Did you see that?
Well, go into
She's crazy.
Going into election season, The View is gonna go crazy anti-Trump, and if they get 100 million views, they're gonna lose their own credibility amongst their viewer base.
Votes.
So if you want to crush The View, if you want to crush MSNBC, if you want to crush CNN, if everyone were to go vote and say, no, we the people chose otherwise, they're going to lose all credibility. They're going to have to change their tune. It's forcing change. The voting for Trump in this election is forcing societal change. I believe it.
I just don't. I'm halfway there with you and I just have to disagree with your comments about The View. I just think The View will never change their tune because they are marketing to the same level of mental retardation that they have, and that's not going to change.
This is how you force them
You can't
to change.
improve mental retardation.
Because what they will do is if there are 5 crazy liberal women on there now and they find out 100 million people voted for Trump, do you know what they're going to do? They're going to add one conservative. Do you know what they're going to do if their show gets popular because they added conservative? They're going to add a second conservative.
No.
Do you know what they're going to do when their ratings go up? They're going to add a third.
No.
That's how TV works.
Are you serious?
I think so.
I think their heads are going to explode. I think Whoopi.
Yeah,
I think
and the ones that cause a fit and create problems, they're going to remove them because their numbers are going to go up, and then you see the shift in society.
Or retire. They'll
Or
probably
retire.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think it's possible. I don't think anything is impossible. I think the media and the TV shows, they're weak. They're followers. And if you can prove to them without a shadow of a doubt that the country's mood has shifted to one side, they will be forced to change.
There are moments in Matt, where I just don't understand how that these TV shows are still around. Because Matt Kim podcast, just in this one instance yesterday, you clearly get more views than these multi-million-dollar productions. Now, I know that they're backed by big pharma. We've actually learned this, that 80% is big pharma, the war machine, etc., that support it. But you just have to wonder, when are they going to go away? So my question to you, Matt, is do you think mainstream media, legacy media will eventually go away? Or are they just going to end up falling into the bucket of fucking C-SPAN?
They are cockroaches, and they always figure out a way to survive.
Cockroaches.
And if you can accept the fact that they will always survive, winning them over and utilizing them for what their purpose is for information.
Useful idiots.
Then maybe that's the thing. I think it's possible to get them back. We criticize them all the time. We shit on them all the time. But the reality is they're necessary.
Why?
Okay, last night we were doing the coverage of the primary. How the hell are we supposed to know who's winning to report on who's winning unless we have a news source? Right?
Yeah,
they're necessary.
Yeah, but their polls and all their data is all fucking made up shit.
I don't have any polls. I don't have any data. Only polls and data I have are from the fake news that I'm forced to rely on. Now, wouldn't it be awesome if we could trust them?
That's true.
Because someone needs to, when you build out an organization and a monster that big to cover the whole entire country, it takes time, it takes money, it takes resources, it takes experience. There's no way an independent channel, especially like us, could cover all these states, especially Super Tuesday. How the hell would we physically do that by ourselves and give out our own numbers?
I know the answer. It's called donate to the Matt Kim podcast so we can scale and grow into a monstrous, organization of technology prowess and new news all over the world. Make it happen, guys. Buy a t-shirt.
It's not possible. It's not possible without these systems put in place. And that's just the sad reality of it. Unless these pollsters will start sharing their data with independent sources.
I almost wonder if there's a political data opportunity for a new emergent company to become the data amalgamator and the data aggregator so that we don't have to trust these legacy media companies who we all know lie.
Yeah, that's like saying, I'm going to start a drug company and go up against pharma. Like, it's possible.
Totally possible with more donations to the Matt Kim podcast. Buy a sweatshirt.
But it is not likely. And if I have finite time in my life, that's not the battle.
Certainly you're not. It's not too sexy. Certainly not.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's someone that's going to take that up as their life passion, but that's exactly what's going to be. Someone's going to have to make that their life mission.
So if we were to close this loop, you're telling every influencer, every podcaster, every social and political commentator out there, go tell all your people to go vote so we crush it so that there is an unequivocal, obvious outcome, which is Trump crushed everybody, shut up.
Even better is everybody watching, when you go vote, take one person that you don't think was gonna vote and take them with you to vote.
Oh, tag team it.
Yeah. If you can take one person to go vote with you, like that's gonna make a huge difference in itself.
Yeah.
And can you convince one person in your universe that was not gonna vote? Can you convince one person to go with you? Hey, I'll buy lunch. Let's go to the polls today.
Let's go
some breakfast.
Looks like I'm gonna get some free meals from Matt Kim. Yeah, baby. Let's go.
I think that's such an easy thing to do. Just take one person with you. And if a quarter of the country took one person with them, it's a landslide. It's 100 million votes.
Oh, actually, the math is not that bad, actually.
Yeah.
If you think about how it ended up last year. And if everyone plus one, that would be 100 million.
Yeah, easily 100 million. So take one person to the polls, go vote. And do you know what? Even if it's your friend and you don't know which way they're going to vote, take them anyway. Right?
That's true. Well, if you're going to be standing in those lines, we all know that you don't need to wear a mask because COVID's just like the flu. So you'll be safe in those lines at voting time, right?
Actually, I want to say one more thing. While we were streaming last night, someone was watching the stream, standing in line in California, waiting to do their primary vote.
Really?
Yeah. So they're in line doing their primary vote, getting ready to cast their ballot, and they're watching the stream while standing in line. I thought that was awesome.
Epic. Who's that? Do you know the name?
I don't remember the name, but whoever that is technically took like thousands of people to vote with them.
Shout out, rocking it, showing off the Matt Kim. You know, one of the things, let me speak on that for just a second. I am always verily surprised, and it makes my heart really happy whenever I meet people and they know about you. You're like everywhere. And the great thing is, like, I can't be misconstrued as you. Because people sometimes when they look at me, they're like, hey, are you Han from the fucking Fast and the Furious?
I could totally see that.
No, I'm not Han from the Fast and the Furious. You know, and at least it's never going to happen is, hey, aren't you the guy on the Matt Kim? They'll never misconstrue me for Matt Kim. That's the win. I'm just the other guy that's on the Matt Kim podcast.
Because you're a dark-skinned Asian.
That's right, because you're actually a white racist. That's true.
That's right. White supremacist.
He's a white supremacist.
Oh, white adjacent.
White adjacent.
I think that was the new thing. White adjacent.
White adjacent. Is that the new terminology, guys?
I believe that is the new terminology.
Oh shit, that just seems. Okay.
So breaking.
Ooh, breaking.
Breaking. Absolutely breaking. Can we get a breaking news? And I, for one, am shocked. Flabbergasted. Flabbergasted.
That's why
shocked
I'm here, guys.
At the news.
Flabbergasted.
The CDC has reported that we should treat COVID-19 coronavirus from Wuhan like the flu.
Bruh.
Oh, Daddy, spank me more.
It was at this moment that he knew.
CDC Daddy, tell me, how should I take it this time?
Can we say that COVID is like the flu?
Man, if you just look at the CDC, what's the smoking gun to me is the CDC self-reporting on flu cases in 2023. It's fucking zero. Like, come on, guys. You have, like, I forget what the numbers was. Let's just make up a number. 20 million flu cases, 2020. 20 million flu cases, 2021. 20 million flu cases, 2022. Zero flu cases, 2023.
I think I got yours wrong. All right. I think it was 2021 that had no flu deaths.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. There was 1 year that they said that there's no flu, but we have the same amount as COVID as flu that year. Amazing.
It's crazy.
It's amazing how data reveals the dissonance and conflict that we see from the narrative.
And they said 98% of people have protection now.
Ooh.
And they lumped this together. They're
Nice.
so slick in how they put their words.
98%?
They lumped this. 90% have protection from COVID due to vaccine,
Ooh.
prior infection, or both.
Or shedding.
So basically, 98% have protection from prior infection, but they lumped in the vaccines with it to get that 98% when 98% is from the prior.
Yeah.
Because the COVID vaccine doesn't anything.
Oh.
But they put that together to make it sound like it actually did something.
Oh, wow.
Do you see how they're so smart?
Yeah, man, wow.
They lumped that together, they hit it in, and in their top line, they say 98%. We can now say this because 98% are safe because of prior infection or vaccination or both. Really, they mean one.
Oh, thank you, Fauci Jesus, for saving us. You've done us a great service. Fauci. I appreciate you very much.
Saying all of these things would have got us kicked off the internet 2 years ago. And this is what pisses me off the most. Of all of it, this is what pisses me off.
Bro.
Because if we say this 2 years ago,
man.
even a year ago, saying similar things got our videos deleted from YouTube.
I know.
Got us strikes on YouTube, got us shadow banned and stuck in the gutter because we were having this same exact conversation just 12 months ago. We were put into this YouTube, what do you call
Purgatory.
it? Purgatory.
Yeah. And the only difference between what we're saying now versus what we were saying then is we've changed it from a question to a statement.
Yes.
Like, the only difference of what we're saying is our intonation is different because back then we were questioning the data, but now we can definitively say, thanks to the CDC, that the data that we were questioning years ago is actually true.
It's funny because I put up a video talking about this on TikTok. I put it on all the formats, but I put it on TikTok. And TikTok, after like 200,000 views and like 3,000 or 4,000 shares, they pulled it down.
Of course.
I went on Twitter. I said, hey, TikTok, this is bullshit because this video is allowed all over the place. There's no medical misinformation. I'm actually literally quoting the CDC.
Yeah, which is the gospel.
I didn't even appeal it on TikTok. I just made that tweet, and maybe within an hour, the video was back up. So TikTok's watching. Meaning that the videos are taken down from me. It's manual. They saw the outrage starting to form on Twitter, and they put it back up.
So Matt, so you have a handler on their side.
I go back this morning, and the video is deleted again.
These guys, they just want to yank you around, man.
So I went back. I went to the appeal process. I said,
God, this is how they grind you down.
I said, guys, what are you guys doing?
What are you guys doing? Well, let's have a powwow.
Deleted it, restored it, deleted it, restored it. At this point, this video is up on every other platform.
You guys are missing out on juju.
And all I did was I literally read what the CDC said. You can't call, because they said it was medical misinformation.
Yeah.
You can't say medical misinformation anymore. You can't do it anymore because COVID is like the flu. Fucking CDC said that shit.
That's why you just have to say it's just the CDC facts.
And they restored it. Look at that. We're winning. They're winning. Winning.
You have someone who hates you on TikTok.
Yeah, there is someone there.
There's definitely, yeah.
There's a
every video
blue hair sheepdog that's sitting there and be like, can't let him say this.
100%.
For sure.
I'm sure they're probably all about 23 years old and they're going, that's racist. Exactly. Something like this.
But we still stay there. We have to stay there because there are 150, 200 million people on TikTok on a monthly basis.
So
that's a huge thing aside. You can't forfeit them.
So
you can't give them up.
The feelings around this, number one, I feel vindicated, but it's almost like a losing battle feeling vindicated. You know, it's like, yeah, I was right, but we still lost because we weren't able to communicate and talk about or even question the narrative back then. And so while the salt is flowing inside of me because I feel salty about it because it's kind of gangster that they would do this, there's almost no recompense. There's no way to revive or recollect what we had lost. And so this is how they grind you down, man. They grind you down by constantly putting you into these purgatories, deleting your stuff, having you to manually ping them and reach out to them and say, hey, man, what's going on with my shit? Do you feel like this is going to be the ever-present grind that you're going to have to deal with forever as you continue to grow the Matt Kim podcast? Or will there be a window, an opening? Is it going to be that the clouds will open up, the stars will shine, the light will bloom down on you because Donald Trump has won? Is that when we're going to have free speech finally?
Yes. I think
Jesus, Donald Trump is like Jesus.
Dude.
I feel like the more that we talk about him, I feel like he's the coming savior.
Right now, we deal with an internet that is heavily censored, heavily moderated, and that they will delete you for ideas that they don't agree with. That's a fact. We all know that's true.
Facts. No cap.
And they do it because the current administration not only encourages it, but they blatantly tell them to do it.
And they've been working with big tech, as proven, to help do that too.
You can't let people talk about these things. You can't let negative memes about Biden be out there. You can't let people talk negatively about the economy. There is a list of things that literally the Biden administration has gone into tech companies and said, delete this, shadow ban this person, this person, this person. They actually physically have proven to have done it. Yes. We know this for sure.
Yeah, 100%. It's crazy that we live in a world like this, though.
Once Trump comes back in, it's going to be the good times of the internet again. I believe it. Oh,
you guys hear this? Up. I want someone to clip this shit because this right here is future telling, man. Right
yes.
Here.
Well, when Trump wins the 2024 presidential election, the good times of the internet will come back. I believe it.
Oh man, where's that good times are rolling song? Good times are rolling. I don't want to be a negative Nancy here, but I think there's a lot of people that are putting a lot of faith, a lot of expectations on this Trump win in November. Is that a wrong mental model? Is that a wrong?
No.
Tell me why.
Because if and when he wins, we will hold him accountable like we hold other previous presidents accountable. So right now we need him to win because there's no choice. It's either Trump or it's Biden. That's their only options. I don't care who you like, who you don't like. Do you want things to be the way they've been for the last 4 years with the establishment deep state taking control of everything in our lives? Or do you want at least a fighting chance? And if you want the fighting chance, you vote for President Trump. Once he goes into power, we will hold him accountable and criticize literally everything he does 100% of the time. That's our job. That's our duty.
I love it. You heard it here, guys. Matt Kim, the free thinker, is going to hold Trump accountable. He's not just a dick rider.
No.
He's not riding the Donald J. Trump dick.
We absolutely believe that we need to help him get into office. But once he gets in, we need to make sure and hold him accountable to do the things they promised to do.
Okay. So
that is just as much as it's our responsibility to hold him accountable, it's our responsibility to help him win.
So I'm asking the questions here clearly. But like, and I'm not disagreeing with anything that you say here. It's either Weekend at Bernie's with a dead body,
yes,
or it's Trump.
Yeah.
So like, pick your poison at this point, and it's really actually not even a choice. Do you want a dead body, or do you want someone who's actually alive? But secondly, my most important question here is, you use the word keep him accountable. What do you want Trump to do in the first 90 days? Well, out of all the things that he can do, what is the thing that you want to hold him accountable? You said you do this, Trump. You're going to do it. Go do it.
Number 1, close the border.
Oh, bro, say less. Let's go.
Number 2, stop all these endless wars.
Oh, let's go. Agreed.
Number 3, protect free speech for all Americans. Number 4, let's make sure the economy gets back on track. Outside of that, I think people can live with a lot. I think there's a lot of flexibility and nuance in policy, but those 4, for most people, are the non-negotiables. You need to be working on those 4 things day one. And if you do those things, I can probably accept a lot of flaw.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Stop sending our money to endless wars because we got roads to fix, we got bridges to fix, we got railroads to fix, we got education to fix. There's so much. We got border to close. Stop bleeding us. Like I asked for your opinion on it. My 2 were very simple. Close the daggone fucking border. Number 1, and number 2, stop sending money to other countries. That makes no sense. I mean, there's not a single U.S. Forget it. There's not a single global citizen that if you were to go to that global citizen now and say, hey, you're paying taxes, I'm just going to let you know that most of your tax money is going to go to this other country. There's not a single global citizen that would look at you in the face and say, yeah, I don't agree with that. Like, if I'm going to be paying taxes, I would hope that those taxes go to improving my life, not paying for the salaries of Ukrainian government officials. I
mean, that's really the theme of the Biden administration. Take your American tax dollars and give them to non-tax paying foreign people. That's literally how you define it, right? Take tax dollars, give it to Ukraine. Tax dollars, give it to Israel. Take tax dollars and give it to people coming illegally across the border. Those people haven't paid taxes yet, but yet we're giving them money and services.
I have to talk about this. I have a friend, Jerry, up in New Jersey.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Jerry. He watches your show.
Oh, awesome. Hi, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry, I'm talking about you, brother. Good friend, long way back. He lives up in Jersey, West Windsor, Plainsboro, Princeton Junction. I'm giving way too many details, Jerry.
Social security number is?
Social security, like, we go way back. He hit me up and he told me he met some illegals non-documented individuals.
Illegals.
Who got these Visa cards. And he said it's true. They got thousands of dollars on these things. Thousands of dollars. So he was hitting me up and he said he was curious. Jerry, I might take you up on it because the flight's cheap. He's trying to find a way right now so that he can go into New York because you don't need to be documented. And they'll give you a $10,000 Visa card. Now, you can't use it on Amazon, but you can use it on any physical location within that area.
What you should do is grow out your Paco stash again. All right? Because we did that experiment.
My Dirty Sanchez?
Yeah. We did the experiment where you showed up one day with this Dirty Sanchez stash. It was really awkward, but you did it. You rocked it for like 3 days before you're like, all right, this is not working.
Yeah, but I was getting no loving, guys.
You should totally roll out the Dirty Sanchez stash, and then I think you're a shoo-in.
Yeah, so
I don't think it'd be very difficult to get you paid.
I can bring Dilly with me, and he can videotape me going through the lines, looking like a dirty Asian, dirty Chinese, right? Because mostly Chinese.
I was going to say you'd look Mexican, but okay.
Okay, dirty Mexican. I don't know where we're going with this. And then I
didn't say dirty Mexican. Bro.
We'll
Bro.
cut that out.
Bro.
No, I said that.
Bro.
I said that. Actually, my wife said that. It's her fault.
Wow. Yep. Throw under the bus.
That's the reason. The reason why I was getting no loving is because she said I look like a dirty Mexican. So who's a racist now, Susan?
Do we have crickets in the background here for this?
Who's a racist now?
What do you have? Do you have a bro? Yeah, bro.
Yep. I didn't. After 16 years of marriage, I didn't know that you were racist.
Emotional, damn it.
No. I think someone needs to do it. I think the cracks are so large, is what I'm hearing. That's the point. The cracks are so large that I'm surprised that a Sean Rich, or one of these influencers that are willing to travel to do these things. I'm surprised they haven't tried to jump into these immigrant lines to get these Visa debit cards, bro. It's real.
Do you know what's even crazier? Is that if you were to do that to prove a point and game the system,
you totally go to jail for sure.
There is a very high probability that they would go after you, convict you, charge you, and putting you in jail for gaming the system. Yeah, which is wild.
But man, you would prove you'd be like the Edward Snowden of America.
I don't want to be the Eric Snowden.
Yeah, but for 10 G's, dude.
Yeah, I'm good.
Dude, times are tough. 10 G's, man.
I do not want to be Snowden, living my life hidden away in a foreign country.
Man,
I don't. And the fact that he has to shows how broken the system is.
Man. So, as we're moving into the election season, the pregame is over, right? Because GOP primary is done. So we are in inning 1.
Yes.
What do you think is going to be, and I was actually thinking about this on the drive over, what do you think is going to be the first attack on Trump? Because now that Nikki Haley's dropped out, Trump is the GOP guy, right? He's going versus Biden. So, right, we're starting to create the MMA, the fighting sounds and the fighting music, and we're going to start doing all these interviews and marketing stuff for the candidates. What do you think is going to be the number one thing that they're going to try to run Trump through the mud about?
I don't even think I hate to say it. I'm waiting for the Black Swan event.
Oh, what does that mean? What's the Black Swan? I mean, it could mean anything, but what do you think the Black Swan event's going to be?
I don't know what the event's going to be, but they've tried indictments. Every time they indict, every time they go after him, he just gains more popularity and picks up the base. Indictments aren't working. Anyone at this point, the people that believe it, you'll never change their minds.
Yeah.
Anyone that questions it is potential to move over to Trump, or they will never give up on Trump. The indictments don't work at all. So you're not, that bullet is gone.
You're not talking about like unaliving, are you?
No. No. But the indictment game is over. It's not doing anything. And the Supreme Court saying that no matter what happens, states can't remove him from the ballot. That almost put a coffin in the indictments.
Did you see Rachel Maddow have a fucking
lost her shit?
Dude, she's crazy. And they're all crazy. They're all like, the fact that you lose your shit over something that is constitutional is just like, clearly you haven't read the Constitution. Anyway.
So I think that first bullet is over. And I mean, they may extend it because they like wasting his money, like wasting his time. Clearly. That's at this point, that's the only reason for them to continue the indictments and continue the court trials is to drain his finances and spend his time. Outside of that, there is no other objective at this point because it's not actually working to change the narrative for the people. So that's done. And then we had, okay, let's try to prop up Nikki Haley and give her $250, $300 million and see if she can at least chip away at Donald Trump. After $300 million spent, after Ron DeSantis spent $200 million, $500 million went to go against and try to shake Donald Trump's credibility.
Man.
Literally nothing happened. Man. Nothing at all.
What could you do with $500 million, dude?
Close the border. You could have built the border wall with $500,000.
That's true.
There's a lot you could have done with $500,000, but they decided to burn it in the air just in case maybe this works and we can slow down Trump. And the only thing they did was a huge calculated error is that he gave him batting practice.
They did. And he's only been growing stronger, which is fascinating to me. He's like anti-fragile.
He's like, here's DeSantis, whack. Here's Haley, whack. And in that meantime, he's gotten stronger. The base has grown. It's energized the base because people like to be a part of a winner. And right now, Trump is a winner.
That's true.
And it doesn't matter what anyone in the country says right now. When you think about Trump, you think he is a winner.
So I lack perspective around Trump's main narrative for this election cycle. Do you know what it is? Because I haven't heard it. MAGA was a great, one of the best monikers, the best slogans ever. I don't care if people look up history and say, oh, he took it from some. Fuck off. MAGA, make America great again. Considering the timing of that years ago, when he was fighting against fighting for the election. That was exactly what we needed in America. America was in this downward slide, and we needed to make sure America was great. America first is another great slogan. I'm a big fan of that. So what do you think is going to be the core motto, core slogan for the Trump campaign moving into the 2024 election cycle?
It will stay, make America great again.
If it worked.
It just resonates.
It does.
To what it is right now.
It does. MAGA's strong.
Yeah. And the talking points that he's been pushing on right now is close the border. That's a big one. Let's get the economy back on track. Yes, the stock market looks like it's doing fine. The reality is underneath all the rubble, it's actually not as great as they say. And bring back a power to the people. Close out and go after the deep state. These are the three things he's campaigning on, which is not even policy ideas.
Well, if you're going to say get rid of the deep state, then I guess I could add a third. So my number 1 was close the border. Number 2, stop sending money to other countries. Number 3, this is going to sound crazy, almost Q-ish for those of you guys who are out there. I want military tribunals. I'm serious. There have been crimes against humanity done by people in leadership that is clearly obvious. For example, if all of you guys have forgotten, we have a woman who's sitting in jail for trafficking hundreds, potentially maybe thousands of people to nobody. What's going to happen to all these people? Is Trump going to finally completely rid the swamp from us? Remove the swamp, get rid of all the malfeasance and all the terrible human suffering? Is that what's going to happen, or is this going to be just another 4 years of just placating the masses?
It's so hard being president.
Man, people need to hang, man. No, seriously, we're only 100 years away from when they used to actually publicly hang politicians who lied to you. Right, we have politicians who lie to us blatantly. I mean, look at all the politicians out in California. They will literally look at you in the face and say, "This table right here, it's black," and you're going to believe it.
I kind of believe it.
Well, we have to say it's black because anything that we say is white is racist. I might be getting a little too dark here, but military tribunals is a big deal, man. I think there are people who have been, if I was, let's just say I'm an individual and I've been living on this planet for 70 years, and out of these 70 years, about 103 people have committed suicide around me. That seems like a really odd idea.
The problem with military tribunals is who's going to run them, who's going to be in charge of them, who's going to be fair.
But accordingly,
Trump is fair.
Trump is still leading the country accordingly, and accordingly, the military from some
who gave Peter
birds
the Q water this morning?
Some little birds have told me that actually the military is running America. So I don't know what to know. I don't know what to believe, guys. All I hear is what I hear.
Your water says bye, but I feel like the B is upside down. It's supposed to say Q.
Yeah, guys, this right here is a Q drop, 16.45.109. Check it out. Check it out right here. Sorry, I'm taking this offline.
I think a lot of things have to change after the election.
Term limits, man. I heard you and Dilly talking about that yesterday. Term limits. Let's bring that up again. I think it's a great idea.
Limits on how much you can spend in a campaign. I love that idea too. The system is broken, and I think Trump's role will be to go in and clean some of it up. Mm-hmm. I don't think he can clean all of it up. I don't think it's possible. It's too much shit out there, but you can clean some of it up.
I know this is so...
And the next guy is going to be responsible to rebuild.
That's what I was going to ask. I know this is so preemptive. It's way too far in the future, but let's say Trump wins. You keep using the word if. You keep using the word when, not if, interestingly. It's interesting semantic. So you truly believe that Trump's going to win?
Yeah. He's supposed to win.
So who is going to come in behind him? And,
I don't know.
And take the policies he's enacted and actually exact them and actually do them. Is it going to be like a Vivek?
No, I don't think.
Have you lost faith in our brown skin homie?
I mean, that was your boy. Not my boy.
He wasn't my boy.
He wasn't my boy. Although I feel like I should have him on the podcast soon.
Oh,
I should.
Because why haven't we?
I have the #1 viral anti-Vivek video.
That's not wrong. It's
sure.
time to set the record straight, Vivek. Yeah. Ramaswamy. Or what is his name called?
Ramaswamy.
Swampy? Is that what the one guy? Vivek, we need to set the record straight. Our main man, Matt Kim, has been talking shit.
There's this one guy
about you.
There's this one guy on Twitter. I don't really know who he is, but there's one guy on Twitter that every single time someone tweets anything about Vivek, he takes my video and puts in the reply. It's in every single Vivek
He's a troll.
post.
He's an epic troll. Then.
He's just a troll and just keeps on posting my video. I made that video like 9 months ago. It just won't go away. And almost every day, there's like 3 women. They're like, "Oh, how can I take anything you say seriously? You lied about Vivek." Every day I get those people, same people. It's like the same 4 people that one absolutely hates Vivek and refuses to let that go, and the 3 women that absolutely hate me because I didn't like Vivek, and they will never let me forget it.
Hey, Vivek troll, keep doing God's work. My brother in Christ, keep going. The 3 women, y'all can fuck off.
I didn't like him when he was running for president. Now that he's not running for president, I don't really care as much.
He's kind of fallen off though. His momentum is just took a dive.
I mean, he's just not overly likable of a person. There's no personality to him. It's just a lot of talking points that people really like to hear.
He is a polished politician.
But that's all it is. You know, there's no relatability to him. It's not like I feel like I'm talking to him when I'm listening to him. I don't know. And all of his online influence is purchased and manufactured. So it looks shiny for a while because all of a sudden it seems like this guy's coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But he didn't grow because of a base. He bought his way through it. So I think that fades quickly. I don't think he's relevant in 2 years.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe he should just go back into tech investing.
I think his peak relevancy will be that he will be either a talking head political commentator or he will be just another podcaster, which I don't want to be a little podcaster because that's what I do, but I wasn't trying to run for president. I don't think it's the same category. I think he'll just be another podcaster.
Here's a question. Do you think Donald Trump should podcast? How fucking dope would that be? Can you imagine listening to,
He should podcast with us.
yeah, and so this happened. You know, like the Donald Trump.
That may be the worst Trump impression ever.
Well, clearly,
He'll get it wrong.
Clearly, guys, I'm not Donald Trump. Wrong. I don't know how he's kind of nasally, but I'm kind of nasally in a different way.
We'll work on that, guys.
I need to work on my Donald Trump, guys.
We'll work on that.
I'm better. I'm better at the retarded stuff for sure.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun if he did something, but you know, I don't like politicians who go into politics and then they become podcasters and influencers. There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden they're in politics, they have some inside know, and now they care more about being a podcaster and online influence than they care about doing their actual jobs.
Like your boy Andrew Yang.
Well, Andrew Yang doesn't hold any position.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Andrew Yang has never held a political position. So what does he know about politics?
That's true. That's true. He never actually won.
Well, he has one failed attempt at presidency, which died really early on.
Yeah.
And then he had a failed attempt at New York mayor, which died really early on. So if anything, Andrew Yang is not a winner because he's never won anything. On the flip side, Vivek Ramaswamy has never won a political position either. So he's actually not a winner either.
Oh. So, Vivek, if you're going to create a podcast, that'll probably be a pretty good place for you to be.
If you're going to run for president and you've never run for politics before, you better win. Otherwise...
You mean kind of like what Trump did in his first round?
Yeah.
First round knockout.
Yeah. You can't say, well, Trump didn't run. Yeah, but he won.
Not wrong. He did win.
Everyone else that ran, like, you were over your head.
Yeah.
You should have won a smaller race and worked your way up. If you can't win a small race, how are you going to win the presidency? If you're going to go for the big gun, didn't even make it past, like, the first round of primaries.
So, I'm still waiting on your Black Swan. What's going to be the Black Swan? Because I said, you know, like...
Well, okay, it's going to be a combination of...
Let me back up.
Okay.
The Black Swan event
for
President Biden was lockdown.
And COVID.
Yeah, COVID is the excuse. Lockdown was the thing that fucked everybody.
To keep you from voting, they literally locked you in your homes, and they took a disease that's like the flu. I didn't say it. The CDC said it. Bruh. They took a disease that's just like the flu, and they told you have to lock yourself at home, and they locked you home for not only the first year during the election, but to make sure he's able to do whatever the fuck he wants, they locked you home for another 2 years.
Matt's not salty at all.
And it's bullshit because they knew about it the whole time. And I talk about this damn Obama 60th birthday party all the time.
Yep, his slaves are wearing the masks.
Only the slaves wore masks.
Exactly. So, lockdown and COVID hoax. That sounds like Alex Jones territory there. But the lockdown and COVID hoax was the Black Swan event to ensure Biden got in and had free reign to send all of our money to other countries in the last 3 years. So I ask again, what do you think? Is it going to be the Obama movie that they foreshadowed?
Yes,
they're gonna turn off the internets and we're all gonna go into the Stone Ages. Is that what's gonna happen?
It's either one of two things, I believe.
Or the movie Don't Look Up because the aliens are coming, right?
It'll be one of three things. I have three possible scenarios that would possibly be what the Black Swan event is. I think most people agree once I lay them out. Number one is that they're going to cut off the electricity, cut off the internet, and we're going to be in this Obama movie, which they already did the predictive programming for, to let us know that they're going to shut off the internet, you're going to be screwed, and then you're not going to know what's real anymore.
Yep, and at the end of the day, your best friend's going to be a redneck hillbilly.
Yes, and you're going to be like, damn it, I wish I stocked up.
Exactly.
You're only paranoid until you're prepared.
Exactly. And looks like all these conservatives hanging out in the countryside with all of their extra stock and food and guns is probably the right way to go at the end of the world.
Yeah. If you can move next to a water source.
Yep.
That's number one.
Because Whole Foods is not going to be around.
Yes. So that's, I think, the obvious one that people are thinking about. I think the second one is that they actively put us into an official World War III.
Don't say it like that.
Because a World War III, typically, historically, during times of war, the incumbent president does not lose re-election.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So that would be an obvious one, too. That's potential. And you can see them building up to a World War III. So I don't think that's impossible. I would put that as a possible number 2.
Man, that just sounds like an expense on everybody.
A possible number 3 is domestic terrorism.
Ooh, yeah, with all of these at least minimal 7.2 million that are here, that's minimal, could be max 30 million that are here. Seems like it could be a possibility.
Yep.
And the Justice Department and the Department of Defense, both, if I remember correctly from news, said that the increase is likely that we might have some sort of internal event stateside. So certainly they're gearing us up for it, yeah?
Because we all know that ridiculous amounts of people have come in the border. We know this for a fact. They've been pushing it in our face.
Yeah.
We don't know which country they're from. We don't know where they're from. What if terrorists are coming in? The right and the left.
There have been news reels on the fact that there are known terrorists that have come through the border.
So if there is a quote unquote terrorist attack anywhere in the country, the whole entire country will be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, and
it doesn't even actually have to happen, is what I'm saying.
Oh, and they can use it as an excuse to lock us down and put us in FEMA camps.
We don't know who's here. And for your protection, for your safety, we need to make sure you guys are staying home.
Oh, that's right. For your safety.
For your safety. Because we don't want another terrorist attack. Don't you care about your children? Don't you care about grandma?
Yeah. And you know that the most terrorist-laden area is northern Georgia, especially around Flowery Branch.
We would like for you to stay home. We would like for you to tell us who you're communicating with.
Oh.
We would like for you to sign up for this app that will track your whereabouts because we're trying to catch the terrorists, and in order to protect you, we're going to need to have your information.
And there's going to be curfews too, right?
Curfews, of course.
And morning check-ins, right?
How else are the feds supposed to catch these terrorists if people are in the way?
I get it. If we don't comply, we make it worse.
That's why, thank you for your compliance.
That's right. I see. Well, everybody, make sure that you have lots of Depends ready because those diapers that you're going to be putting over your face and your ass are going to be supplied by the U.S. government.
I feel like those are the 3 most likely situations. I don't want any of them to happen. But
they all sound horrible, by the way.
And I think
the end of the story is not going to be good.
I think we're going to find out which way they're leaning because of those 3, it's going to be manufactured to be that way.
Man, I tell you.
It doesn't happen naturally. This is a manufactured event. Locking people up for COVID, they could have easily said, do you know what? Let's figure this thing out and life goes on. They could have, but they chose to lock people up. Yeah. They're going to choose to lock people up in one way, shape, or form using one of these 3 reasons.
Yeah.
And we're going to get a signal on what that is tomorrow night at the State of the Union address.
Probably.
For sure. Because they're setting the stage. That's why they waited this long to do the State of the Union.
And if you think about what has transpired in just the first 3 months, not even full 3 months of 2024, we've had alien invasions in Miami. We had more green lasers creating forest fires in Texas and in other countries. I think it was Brazil, whatever. We've had this virus X that's coming out, right? I mean, they can pick from a smorgasbord of different world-ending scenarios. So it's going to be interesting to see what our commander in red, our great dictator with the red and dark background. That was the last time that I remember President Biden actually doing anything of significance. The State of the Union could be one of those bombs where he pretty much tells us exactly what the plan is, because for some of us, we saw him the other day talk about, how all these fires are burning in Texas except for the houses who have different colored roofs. Did you see that?
Like blue?
Like blue?
I feel like I think they're definitely going to tell us, because they've set the stage. They've already tested all 3 scenarios.
Yes, they have.
We've already been tested. What would happen if we got into World War III? What would the reaction be? They've already been modeling that to us. We've seen what that could look like. They've tested that. We've also seen that they test what happens when the internet goes out.
Yeah.
Because we had the outage last week with AT&T.
That's right.
On Super Tuesday, we had Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything going at the same exact time. They've tested what's the reaction. How fast can we turn it off? How fast can we turn it on? What's the people's reaction? What do they think? And they're probably like, fuck. They think exactly what we're doing. Damn it. They're on to us. They're on to us.
But they're too decentralized to do anything, so we can still do it anyway.
Yes.
Exactly.
So they know what the repercussions of that are. They know what the results of that are. And then they know what happens with the border, because they've been doing this border stuff, and everyone goes crazy. Remember, what happened if we stand with Texas?
Dude.
Who's standing with Texas? What's going on in Texas?
Vapor in the wind, bro.
And we lost. I'm so upset that we lost the border episode, because we recorded an episode talking about the border situation.
He's not that unhappy.
And in that border situation episode that we never got released, that's in the internet forever, that was probably deleted by the deep state. That episode, we said that in 3 or 4 days, all these things that we're talking about right now will forever be irrelevant and will disappear. And we are 2 weeks from recording that episode, and literally no one is talking about any of those things we talked about 2 weeks ago, like we called it.
Yeah, because right now, as it stands, nothing is actually happening at the border, Matt.
Nothing.
It was a nothing burger after all.
Nothing.
Actually, today, 0 immigrants have come through the border, from what we understand, because no one's reporting on it, so clearly nothing's happening.
It has completely missed the news cycle. News has moved on. The people have moved on. The stand with Texas has died so fast. This truck convoy ended up being like 500 pickup trucks, or not even. What happened to 70,000 truckers? That never happened. They just put out these topics, these issues out into the news cycle. People care about it for 2 days. And nobody cares. Move on. What else is shiny?
They get their panties in a wad, and then it's the next thing to react about and get upset about. Yeah.
And someone's watching, going, "I care." Do you?
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like those emails that I get from investors who say stuff like, "We're investing so that we can save the climate and improve climate change." It's like, "Oh, really? Really?" So my response back to these investors is like, "Tell me, please, because I only work with radicalized and absolute strong-minded climate change believers, and I want to know first and foremost, how are you lowering your carbon emissions?" And they never get back to me.
Oh, do you know how I am lowering my carbon emissions? Can we close out on this?
Yeah. Are you eating less uyu?
We
farting less?
Bought a Tesla.
Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious? No. Are you fucking serious?
My wife. I don't drive one.
Taeyeon.
My wife drives one. I know.
Taeyeon. Not judging though.
I know. And
That's
I
upset.
like it.
I'm like actually really fucking upset right now. I'm really upset. Talking about lowering your carbon emissions, that shit was fucking mined in Sierra Leone, brought over to Canada, put in a fucking battery, sent over to Japan to manufacture, and then fucking sent back over to Austin, Texas to fucking put together in a Tesla. You killing people.
Just like my cell phone, just like my camera, just like my MacBook computer, just like these headphones, just like this mic, just like this TV, literally all of it. Get off your high horse.
I just like gas, Taeyeon.
I do too. But yeah, we traded out her car for a Tesla. It's the first Tesla we've ever had.
Do you like it though?
I don't hate it.
Okay.
It's
Does she like it?
she likes it
Wait.
because because it drives itself. Because she can do her makeup in the car while the car drives.
Get the fuck out of here! Stop with that shit. We're gonna wrap up this episode. Next episode of Matt Kim Podcast, we're gonna take a shit on Tesla and Elon Musk and all this bullshit.
Elon,
I promise
come
you.
on the pod.
I'll
We're
bring
gonna get him
receipts.
next.
I'll bring receipts.
On that note, we are definitely doing a live stream to cover the State of the Union address. Join us tomorrow.
Tonight.
Nope,
Tonight.
Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We may start at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Definitely go check out the Rumble, Matt Kim Podcast on Rumble. And you should see the link. It should be up by the time you guys go check it out. Go to Rumble. Other than that, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Peter.
A Tesla?
See you guys next week.
Oh!